Hello, everyone. Welcome to Beyond and Above, a show where we bring to you people who are doing beyond and above in their careers or their talents. Now, today we have a very exciting guest. Normally, before we start the show, we normally go through people's personal achievements and their CVs, but for this particular guest, it was quite difficult because she's achieved so much. You know, the CV is bulky. This person has been the managing director of Airtel before, managing director of EcoBank, managing director of Zambia National Tourism Board, and she's the former board chairperson of Zanaco. Now, let me not spill in all the beans. Let me introduce our guest. Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much, Florence. Happy to be here.
Thank you for having us in your home.
And thank you for inviting me. Thank you for coming.
All right, thank you so much. So today, we are blessed by your presence because once someone watches this interview, they'll be inspired to, break the glass ceiling. So we'll just start with the past, so that we can get to the present moment. Who would you say Charity Lumpa was before university? What were her hopes and dreams and ambitions?
Charity Lumpa is. I don't think I've really changed. I was a young girl actually, before university. A Fatimanian. I went to Fatima Girls Secondary School from 73 to 1978. That's when I finished what we called Form 5 then. So I am the second born child of Rachel and Gideon Lumpa, and first-born daughter out of 6. So we have one gentleman who's my older brother, and then I have 4 siblings, my sisters. But when I look at my dad alone, I think I'm like number 7 out of maybe 15 children.
Wow.
Yeah. So I come from a very big family. And I'm a single parent now, or before university.
Yeah.
Too many things to talk about. So I was a young lady inspired by my mother, Rachel, the late Rachel Lumpa, who was the first female, in fact, executive director of the Family Planning Association of Zambia, as it was known then. And then thereafter, I came to Fatima Girls Secondary School, where I did my Form 5, and from there I went to the University of Zambia.
Interesting. So by then, during that moment, did you imagine that this is how far you would get?
In fact, I imagined that I'll be much further than I am right now.
Okay. All right, interesting.
Yeah, you see, my mom died a tragic death when I was 11. And she was my role model, and the things that she did, I just used to admire her so much. And I said, wow, I want to be just like her when I grow up, and maybe even better,
Yeah.
I like the way she dressed herself. I like the way she was like very corporate in her appearance. I enjoyed watching her carry her briefcase, and I said, the first opportunity I have, I'm buying myself a briefcase.
When did you buy your briefcase?
I think I bought my briefcase just as soon as I turned 21.
Awesome. Wow, you actually went to buy it.
I actually did, because that's the picture I have of a professional woman.
Mm-hmm.
Well dressed, very composed, looking professional with her documents, everything in place. So I like that about her.
Yeah.
So when she died, we used to live at a farm in Minsundu,
Mm-hmm.
and it was like a 10-acre farm or 5-acre farm. But when she died, we had to go and live with my grandma in a place called Pamosi in Indola. And then it was a site and service area. It was just starting, so it didn't have many amenities. And my mom had been building a house for her mom then, and it was incomplete at the time of my mom's death. And because of the way she died and the conditions surrounding it, we were forced to move from the farm into that house. And that house had no running water, it had no electricity, it wasn't plastered. We didn't have our own bedrooms. We now had to use braziers from using a stove, using korobo. You know what korobo is?
Yes, actually I
To
do.
read and candles and stuff like that. So it was really, really rough. And so at a very early age, I knew both sides of life. Let me put it like that: the hard side and the really good, easy side, which I can call was middle class, well-to-do. And so at that early age, I realized
I don't belong here.
there is no way I'm going to belong in this situation.
Yeah.
This situation is temporary, it will pass. But what I aspire to be, I aspire to be my mother. With all her achievements, with the way she raised us in a beautiful home and stuff like that. And that is what has been driving me.
Amazing. That's really amazing to hear. It's a very touching story, but you made something out of it, you know? It made you realize where you wanted to be.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So another question would be which university did you go to? What did you pursue there, and why did you want to pursue what you pursued?
So I went to the University of Zambia by default.
Okay.
My mom used to have a friend called Ruth Harris, and when mom passed away, Ruth Harris found me a scholarship to go and study interior design. I love doing interior design even at that early age. And so she found me a scholarship, okay, to go to the United States and study interior decorating at a degree level. But my guardian then, my Aunt May, was just saying, she was not having it. She was saying, why do you want to go to America? You just want to travel. This university here, University of Zambia, is as good as any other university in the world. You are going to go there. And besides, what career would you have if you go and study interior design and interior decorating? You're going to the University of Zambia. And so there I was, forced to go to the University of Zambia, totally disillusioned. And I really had no interest in anything there. And so one of my guardians came and sat with me and said, look, whether you like it or not, you're not going to America, so just find something to do. This will stand you in good stead in future years, and at least you'll have a degree, and thereafter, if you want, you can go to America.
Yeah.
So I said, okay. At that early age, I still liked service. I liked working with people. So I said, I'll do public administration, and at major, and then I minored with economics. And so that's exactly what I did.
Okay, wow, amazing. So even if you were made to study what you didn't really want, you still made like something big out of it, you know?
Yeah, because I enjoyed public administration. I think it very much speaks to what my passion is today. And so maybe I didn't even realize it then, but it was something that I really enjoyed. Public service, organization, management, governance issues and stuff like that. So it was really good.
Amazing story. So what was your first job after university, and what did you get to learn from it that has shaped you to be the person that you are today?
Wow. I held so many jobs while at university.
Oh,
okay.
Wow.
So in my second year, I did vacation work with Zambia National Commercial Bank in the waste department. That was what it was called then. I think today it would be credit admin or something like that. So I did that. So every holiday I used to go to Zanaco for like a year and a half or so, and this was at Center Branch, which is very next to ShopRite on Carroll Road there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And then after that, I worked with Hybrid Poultry Farm, and I was with Hybrid until I even graduated from the University of Zambia. So I used to work during holidays. A girl has got to eat. Girl girl has needs.
Yes.
Okay? And one of the biggest challenges you have when you come from a broken home is that you are shunted from one house to the other, and really getting down to ask for people to look at your needs was also difficult. So you don't always want to go with a begging bowl. Okay?
Exactly.
So I decided I'll just be working and fend my way, and that's exactly what I did. So the last job was at Hybrid, and then when I graduated, my first real job was with the Zambia State Insurance Corporation, where I was hired as a management trainee, working for AutoCare at the time, which was a subsidiary, and that was my first encounter with gender bias. because AutoCare was full of men, panel beaters, mechanics, painters, what have you. Not a single female in sight. I was the female, and there was no manager then, and so I was hired as the acting workshop manager. Straight from university.
Wow.
Straight
Straight.
into a leadership role. I'm like, Lord, what's gonna happen to me?
You know.
So anyway, so what did these jobs teach me? Very much about, learned a lot about collaboration, teamwork, and the fact that, to be good,
Yeah.
you needed your people around you, okay?
Yeah.
And people who were willing to share with you, willing to teach you, provided you're also willing to learn and to ask the questions. I learned the importance of communication, open communication, and the realization that if you don't ask, you'll never know. Okay? So those were things that I learned. And at hybrid especially, I also learned the importance of speaking up, because sometimes we just assume people know these things and there's no, but why did you speak up? Would have told you what to do. So I decided that I should be speaking up, I should be asking, I should be learning, I should be growing. So those are things that I learned in my first jobs.
That's really amazing because, most of us are brought up in such a way whereby speaking up is kind of, controversial.
Difficult, yeah.
But then we get to learn, like, after university, how important it is. And I'm glad you've brought it up. And I hope people out there are, learning that we need to be speaking up.
Yeah.
We shouldn't just assume that people know what's in our minds.
Exactly.
Yeah, thank you so much for that. Another question would be, how has been now your career path from that first job to now where you are? You can maybe summarize that for us.
Yeah, I've had a very interesting career, and I really thank God for that.
Mm-hmm.
Because when I decided, when I left AutoCare, I joined the public relations department at ZISC, and I did that for a few years. I graduated in '83, and I left the department in about '88, and I joined business development. And in 1989, I went to Citibank. Citibank came hunting, and I accepted their role. They asked me.
So they literally came to you and said,
Yes,
"We want you."
They said they wanted me.
Wow,
They
I
were,
want
they were
that.
hunting, yeah.
Yeah,
And at that time, I was an assistant manager
nice.
in marketing.
You've been a
department.
manager all this while.
God has been gracious.
You know.
He realized he had to be nice to me because I was a little lost after my mom died.
Yeah, I see.
So when they came and asked me to join Citibank, that is, they asked me to join as an executive trainee. I said, Lord, I've been a manager, an assistant manager. Now I must go back to being an executive trainee.
Yeah.
So they said to me, we'll confirm you and give you a promotion in 2 years.
Okay.
So, just don't worry about the title.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure you just deliver on the job. Come and get trained and do the job as best as you can. So lesson number 1, it's not always about the title.
Exactly.
It's about the job.
It's not about the title, guys. Uh-huh.
So I thought about it a little bit more. Then they said, and your salary will be 3 times what you're earning now. I said, okay, where do I
What?
sign?
I know.
At that time, we were still looking at money. I was a single parent as well. I'd become a single parent in
Okay.
'86.
Okay.
So I said, oh, sure, let's do this. So I joined Citibank, and within 2 years, I was made head of credit admin.
Wow.
Yeah. And that's how I transitioned from state insurance to
Citibank.
Citibank. Yeah.
Okay. And then from Citibank.
Okay, so from Citibank, I'm now in my memory lane. From Citibank, I went to, where did I go? From Citibank, I went to a bank called Chase Trust Bank. It was a local bank by Mr. Siam and his colleagues. They had some American shareholders. I was there for only 6 months.
Okay.
Because I realized that perhaps I had not made the right the right move. So when Barclays Bank came knocking,
So Barclays came
yes,
knocking.
yes.
Oh, wow.
Even Chase Trust Bank, they came knocking.
You
So
know?
when Barclays, they knocked at the same time.
Okay.
Barclays Bank and Chase Trust. But I went with Chase Trust thinking, okay, let me support an indigenous bank. And I saw the opportunity to rise much faster in that organization as well.
And I'm sure these people coming to you, it meant that you were delivering such a good job where you were.
Yeah, and that's one lesson we all need to learn. The quality of your work will speak for you. So do the best that you can, because your job will speak for you, you know.
Yeah.
So they would say, if you need such and such a worker, try Charity Lumpa. She's good at ABCD.
Nice.
So that's always important.
Yeah.
So anyway, Chase Trust, 6 months later, I jumped ship and I joined the Barclays Bank. And I was chief risk manager, first female to have held that role as well.
Wow.
And I was there up until 2000 when I was moved laterally to a different department, retail banking, and I became head of retail banking, head of retail performance for the southern cluster, meaning Lusaka, Mumbwa, Mongu, all the way down to Livingston and Chipata. That was my region. And I stayed there until 2002 when I became headhunted again by Standard Bank to set up the retail bank here in Zambia. So roll back a few years, when I turned 30, I sat myself down before the Lord and I said, where are we going? What are we doing, Lord? I mean, what is this? Just changing jobs? What are we going to be doing?
Yeah.
So he says, what do you want to do?
I like that. He said, what do you want to do?
I have conversations with the Lord.
That's a whole conversation
I said, no, I sit him down. I have a chair for me in my bedroom. Sit here, let's talk. What is this? What's going on? So he says, so he says, what do you want to do? I said, I want to be a CEO by the time I'm 40. So it's done. So what's that got to do with me? I said, okay, but give me a few tips here. He says, okay, work hard.
Yeah, you know.
Go for those jobs that will put you, that will make you eligible to be considered a CEO. I said, wow, okay. I prayed about it. But this time I've entered into roles at a director level. Okay. So I said, no problem, I can do that. He says, yeah. So all the best to you. I said, thank you, Lord.
Yeah.
And so in 2002, I got invited to apply for a job at Zambia National Tourism Board to be the CEO.
Okay.
And I said, this sounds good. Yeah.
Looks like a dream over here.
Yeah, this is gonna work. And I've got to be a CEO by the time I'm 40, and I was just knocking on 40 that time. Knocking hard on the door.
Yeah.
Long story short, I got hired as MD for Zambia National Tourism just before I turned 41. So officially, really, I was 40.
Yeah.
And I became a CEO. I took a salary cut, lost 2/3 of my salary. Again, you see, it's not about money. But what was I gaining? I was gaining a CEO role. I was gaining conditions of service that saw me have a car, company home. And by then I'd already bought my first house. Because I said by the time I'm 30, I should buy a house. So what am I telling you? Make goals. Set goals, no matter how lofty they may be. I mean, at that age, where would I even think I would get money to buy a house and stuff like that? But I said, I'm going to work at it. It's going to work out one day. And I bought a house, a beautiful house. And the beauty of it all, why it was beautiful, it was not so much that it looked good, I could have done better, but because it had a tenant. And the tenant was Zesco, so I was getting double income. So I was very pleased with myself.
Wow.
Yeah. So I bought a house, and then so 40, I'm CEO. And being CEO, in fact, I roll back again. Let's talk about dreams, objectives, and putting them in alignment. So when I became head of retail bank and head of retail at Standard Bank, they asked me, what I was expecting. Not the usual salary discussions, and I told them these are my expectations, and they even beat whatever my expectations
Really?
were. And they asked me, if you want to, but this is your car allocation, go and buy yourself a car, or it's up to you. I went straight to Marinucci then. Went and bought a brand new Mercedes Benz off the showroom. And I said, girl, you were right.
Showroom, not even. She didn't even order it online. She went to the showroom.
This is the car I want.
Yeah.
And I bought the car. Took out the plastics myself. Man, it's such a great feeling. But it can't beat buying a house though.
Okay.
So I did
Taking
two great things by that time. Okay, so I went and bought this car. So by the time I was going to the Zambia National Tourism Board, I was even given another car, you see. So it's all really fully aligned because I had a plan for my life, I had goals, and I was ready to put in the work. Okay, I was a single mother then. I'd become a single mother, and the challenges that came with being a single mother were also there. But that should not deter anybody. Work at it. I'm not saying it's easy. No, I don't subscribe to that. But it is not insurmountable and can be done. So from Stanbic Bank, I went to Zambia National Tourism Board, as it was known then. Then my contract ended in December 2007, and I opted not to renew it because the company was now becoming a department in the ministry.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I want to swim in big oceans. I want to be like a shark because you grow in a big ocean. So I didn't think continuing in the department was going to give me that ocean. And for me, it was all about growth. Okay, so I decided not to take that. And in January itself, EcoBank came knocking and asked me to be the project manager in Zambia for EcoBank to set up their Greenfield Financial Institution as Zambia branch. And I said, yeah, bring it on. What did I know about setting up a bank? But I just said, you know what?
So you took it up without even knowing what's
No, I had no idea what
so
it
you were
entailed.
ready to put in the work even before you
always ready to put in the work, always ready to learn, take on new challenges. So I said, yeah, bring it on. I was shaking in my boots, but I said, you know what, we gotta do this, girl. So I went. Uncle Gugu came to help. I did all the research. I was flown to West Africa, where our regional office is. I spoke to some people, and I started. I was the only member of parliament, only member of staff.
Yeah.
It speaks about my recent political.
We'll talk about that.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
So the only member of staff, plus my driver.
Okay.
So in I think it was now June, July, we submitted the application. I did the feasibility study and everything else. I learned everything off Google. And it was the best feasibility study that EcoBank had ever seen.
Wow.
You've got to apply yourself.
Wow.
Yeah. And so I went to submit the application at the central bank, 6 months, record time. And within the year, they gave us the license. And so August 2009, EcoBank Zambia was born and opened its doors to the public.
Wow.
So I stayed there. Yeah, I stayed in EcoBank Zambia as MD until August 2012. And strangely enough, I was living next door.
Really?
Yes.
Wow. So you actually tried to just come back.
I just tried to come back. So I went. I went to Togo. I was transferred to Togo, to Lome, where the head office is, to set up the credit admin unit to work across the 32 African countries at the time, so that we could manage our credit risk portfolio. I was quite homesick. I've never worked anywhere other than in Zambia, and I just didn't see myself working anywhere else but Zambia.
Did you travel with your child?
Yeah, my child was always in school, but she traveled with me, as my dependent.
Okay.
But I went anyway to Lome, and I was just so unsettled, and I just said, Lord, you gotta deal with this one. This one is beyond my pay grade, so this one, you who raises people from the dead, are going to do this for me.
Amen.
Yeah, and so February, was it February? January.
Uh-huh.
January 2013, Airtel came knocking.
So
And
these people just come knocking and say, you know what, we need you.
we're talking about brand.
Yeah. Okay.
You know, develop
yeah.
your brand, your
Mhm.
personal brand.
Yeah.
It's about you, your work, your up is good, nothing else but you. And they came knocking, and I took the job. That was March. I was back here in April, and retired in 2015. I found that I just lost steam. I realized, I'd been pushing. I said, let's do something different now. Okay, I found myself forcing myself to get up in the morning to go to work, and that's not a good feeling. And therefore, I was not giving my best. I didn't think I would be, and I decided, no, let's step aside.
Yeah.
Let's retire. So I put up my hand and I said, sure, no problem. But why so soon? I said, I have things to do. And I'd really wanted to retire at 50, but I just had one or two things that were not in place, and I couldn't retire. So, long story short, I retired in 2015, and I decided I want to take a break, a sabbatical, so-called, for a year. After that, I want jobs that would help me work with people directly. In these jobs I held, we had huge CSR budgets, but the people were not really benefiting. It's like a project, and then you move on, a project, and then I wanted to constantly do that to help people, to overcome poverty, to overcome the I don't want to call it stigma, the limitations that women think they have about being professional and rising up. I wanted to work with women, and I wanted to motivate them. So I said I'll take 6 months first. 6 months came and went. I said, okay, maybe a year. Yeah.
Clearly, you were enjoying what you were doing.
I was certainly enjoying myself, and here we are today. But what kept me grounded really to this country more is that these are the things I wanted to do. So in February or March 2015, Zanaco came knocking, and they asked me to interview for to be a board member, okay, a director on the board. And I said, sure. I was in hospital at the time. I was having an operation.
Sorry.
And when they called me, it's the day I was discharged, and they said, can you come tomorrow for an interview? I said, Lord, yes, I've come.
Are you being serious? You actually went?
Mm-hmm.
Did they know that?
No, I just had to hold it together.
Up to now, did they know about it?
I told them afterwards.
Oh
Yes,
my.
I told them afterwards. The day after I was discharged, I was sitting in the boardroom at Zanaco,
Wow.
being interviewed to be a board member. And it's in that interview they said, but would you mind being a chair?
Wow.
I said, well, I didn't come ready to discuss being a chairman, but hey, why not? He said, sure, well, you're a new chair. I said, thank you. That's how it worked. That's how it was, simple as that. And in the following month, April, at the AGM, I was approved as a board member and was the board chairperson. Yeah, I call myself board chairman.
Oh, board chairman, yeah.
It's a title.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it's like
Yeah.
president. It's like minister.
Exactly.
So why is it when a woman takes on these roles, you want now to change?
No. I definitely didn't even know that.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Why does the world want to change?
It,
It's chairman.
It's board chairman.
If I become president of this country, will you call me presidentess? You know,
No,
understand? So I call myself chairman. It's the
board
role.
chairman, yeah.
It's like mayor.
So what's the role of a board chairman?
So the role of a board chairman is an interesting one, okay?
Mm-hmm.
It's you are one amongst equals.
Okay.
Of all the board members, you are all equal.
Mm-hmm.
Except there's always a team leader. And that's what I was, a team leader.
Okay.
To guide the board, to build the bridge between management and the board itself,
Mm-hmm.
to enhance policy, to enhance collaboration, to bring in that visibility, and ensure above all else that there is strong governance in the organization.
Wow.
Yeah. So I need to be a role model as well.
Yeah.
Okay. So if I'm demanding X of management, I should know I'll be able to do that myself. So the chairman's role is quite a pivotal role and a very important one, and especially as regards ensuring a great and robust relationship between the CEO and the board. That's important. Yeah.
I see. Interesting. Sounds like a lot of work, but
It
it's
is
worth
a
it.
lot of work. It's also dealing with a lot of emotions and understanding that whatever you do, especially as chair, you have to put that message down time and again. Whatever is done at the board is in the best interest of the organization.
Wow. Very powerful. All right. So, what would you say? You've achieved so many things, for one person, one human being. So, what would you say has been your greatest achievement out of all of these things?
Being a great mother to my daughter.
Oh,
Yeah, I have a daughter,
okay.
and I had a great relationship with my mom. I
Okay.
remember that much, and I thought that's the thing I want to have the most with my daughter, so that I raise a strong, courageous young lady.
Wow.
Yeah, that's my greatest achievement. Career wise, all of my jobs have been my greatest achievement. All of them, because each one taught me something different. And I still believe that the best is still ahead of me. I haven't arrived yet. Yeah. But building EcoBank Zambia from the ground up would definitely be listed as one of my greatest achievements. So don't have one. I have several.
Yes, seven.
Yes.
You just can't pinpoint it when you're like,
I have one. My second greatest achievement is my first actually. EcoBank is number 3, my daughter number 2, number 1 is my journey, my deep conviction as a child of God. That's for me is my greatest achievement. The circumstances under which my mother died made me believe there's no God. Okay? There can't be a God who can allow me not to have a mother and to lose her in such a manner. And I battled with that for many, many years. Until I think I was about 16, thereabout, when I just gave my life to God and said, look, I've been resisting you all these years, but now here I am. I think for me that was my greatest achievement. It was easy to get lost in here.
yeah.
The mind is such a powerful thing, and I can see why a lot of people despair, because we go in our head, and once you're in your head, every scenario that is bad will come to you if you allow it. And I did for many years, and then I realized this is not the way. If what I want to achieve in life is XYZ, I can't continue like this. I was always angry, I was frowning, I was not happy. It's just that I found every reason to be unhappy or not to do anything. Fortunately, God gave me great brains and I excelled at school. That's why I even managed to go to the University of Zambia. And I said, I can't continue like this. I said, Lord, forgive me. Show me the way.
Yeah.
That realization that I was on the wrong path, having the wrong attitude, being angry, sulky, always annoyed, was not doing it for me. And I said, this is not going to continue anymore. That, for me, is my biggest achievement ever. Because for far too often, we find that we give in to our emotions, our thinking, and we use that as an excuse not to do anything. Pity parties.
Yeah.
No, me, my mother died. No, me, my father this. No, me, that. No, this. No. I said, girl, you gotta get a hold of yourself. You've got the Lord telling you, fear not, I'm with you. I'll be with you all the time. And I'll shine my light on your path. Get working. And that's exactly what I did.
Wow, that's very amazing. As Sarah Jack says, girl, you gotta get up. You need to stop giving excuses,
Yeah,
The greatest
absolutely.
achievement is actually knowing that, she says her greatest achievement is knowing that, I should stop having that self-pity, rise above the challenge and go for it.
My
Go for those
greatest
dreams.
achievement is knowing God.
Yeah, her greatest achievement is knowing God. Yes, knowing God, guys. You need to know your God, and you need to create a personal relationship with Him. Just as she says, she talks to Him, sits Him down, say, you know what, I'm planning this, and He's like, go ahead. That's really amazing. You need to take note of that.
Absolutely.
So another question, as we come to the conclusion of the program, what advice would you give to your 20-year-old self?
Yeah, I've been thinking about that for a while. Don't despair. In this world, we shall have failures. We shall things not go the way we want them to go, but they should not define you. God is always there for you. And when you fall, get up. Don't stay down. Because when you stay down, you are totally failing. So get up. I'm not saying it's easy. I'm saying get up. And when you get up, you just find that you're even stronger because you got up. When you remain down, I believe you continue being weak. So 20 years old, get up, my girl. Get going.
Wow, that's really amazing. So it's a matter of getting up. No matter how many times you fall down, you need to get back up. So I know we said we're concluding, but just two last questions. What do you do in your free time?
Right.
Last time I watched you saying that you watch EastEnders.
I was
so
about
how's
to
that
say,
going?
I still watch EastEnders. Okay, I don't watch it every day. What I do is I record it.
Okay.
And then I choose a month. Okay, when it's
okay.
really, when I've got no planned a calendar ahead in that month, and I
Yeah.
know that I'll be fairly free.
Yeah.
But then I use Sundays mostly. I don't really do it during the week. So I watch EastEnders like marathon from morning to evening.
I wonder what it's about. I'm sure right now people are going to now like look it up to say, okay, I think I need to watch this maybe to be successful.
Yeah, it's a soap. Not really. It's my downtime. It's a soap I started watching in 1988 when I went to London to do my diploma in marketing management.
Yeah.
So that's what I liked enjoying when I was in London, because it was cold then and you spend more time inside the house. And there was this program which I liked, EastEnders and Home and Away, but Home and Away doesn't come here, so I just like EastEnders.
Okay.
I like to read.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't been very good in the past couple of years because of the nature of what I've been doing.
Yeah.
I like to cook.
Nice.
Yeah, I enjoy cooking. I also just like to be, doing nothing, just sitting there.
Yeah, just some quiet time.
Just some downtime, some quiet time, enjoying myself.
I can see the trees.
Yeah,
you
thanking
really like
God for His blessings, checking in with Him. It's just, we've got to make time for self. We are always pushing an agenda, and far too often you find that in pushing that agenda you are pleasing a lot of people but hardly yourself. So find time to come back and recalibrate and see what else can be done out there. And so that's what I do for in my free time. But I'm a consultant. I don't do things widely. I'm actually if you come and look for me, I'll do it. So I don't go looking for it. I don't know if it makes sense, because I'm just trying to enjoy my age group. I'll be turning 60 in February.
You don't say. You don't even look anything 60 to me.
So I want to start taking things a little bit easier. I serve on a number of boards as well. And I'm also trying now to go back to my foundation, which I started in 2019. As I started, is it 20? Where are we? 2021. I started in 2020.
Okay, so
when I started my political activities, because I wanted to use it as the engine to touch the people, to reach the people, as opposed to using the political structures. So when I was not adopted, I put it on hold for a little while, hoping that I can pick it up again in early 2022.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. Amazing. Okay, so the last question is, you've reached so far in your life. Do you plan on mentoring young people? So working hand in hand with young people.
No, I don't plan on mentoring young people. I actually do it.
Oh, wow.
And I've been
nice.
doing it for I don't know how long.
Serious?
Yes.
Wow.
So I have a small coaching business on the side.
Okay.
So when people ask me to help them, to coach them or to mentor them, I do that with them.
So how do people reach out to you if they want to be mentored by you?
Well, people know how to find me. Okay, so I can give you my email address. I can my telephone number, no.
Of course.
But certainly my email address. Yeah. So I do coach. I don't coach for free because I actually went and got certified as a coach. I'm an executive coach. But I do know that some young ladies, some young men who might not be able to afford my services that I do pro bono as part of my charity work.
Okay. That's really amazing. What last words would you have to say to? Okay, most of our audience are students, but you can generalize it to just young people. What advice would you have for them as we conclude?
It's possible to achieve whatever you want, whatever you set out to do, but it's not going to happen automatically or by magic. You've got to put in the work, you've got to plan. I think I've indicated throughout our discussions that for me nothing happened by chance. I planned everything. I didn't always get whatever I planned for, but at the end of the day I was always left better off than if I had not planned. So always plan whatever you want to do. Challenges will be there. Don't get discouraged. Don't lose hope. And they say keep trying 3 times. If at first you don't succeed, try again. Try again. Try again. If it doesn't work, find another way or change what you are trying to achieve and move on. You see, the way up is not always in this upward trajectory. Sometimes you go like that, then you go up, then you sometimes you go down, then you come up again. So the trajectory is not always well known, but keep focused on that up. Even if you go like this, you're looking up because that's where you want to be. And it's hard. I won't lie, it's hard. But imagine the joy, the sweetness of your victory when you get there. When you get to this milestone, then the next. And set milestones, huh? Don't just go chimbu, no plan. Have a plan. Make sure you set milestones. By 30, I must do this. I wanted a house. By 30, I must buy a house. I bought a house. When I retired, I said I must retire in my own home. I bought a home. This is my own home.
Wow.
From my retirement benefits.
Wow.
I owe nobody in rent here. No. They owe
Just
me
wake up,
rent.
go to a swimming pool, whatever time.
Exactly. So it's really about planning your way such that you sacrifice now so that you can come and live like I'm living today. I did a lot of sacrifices. Yeah. So that I can be able to afford my own home. Yeah. Be able to put food on the table. To be able to jump into my car and go where I want to go. If I want to travel abroad, I say at least I can afford an economy ticket and go wherever I want. I can afford a hotel. That for me is success. To be able to eat, to drink, whatever you want, and at the end of the day, to sleep at night without any worries. For me, that is success. And to know that God checking it and say, yes, you've got it, girl, do it. So it's important that we plan, we set goals, and work towards achieving them. Don't just put a goal and say, kaya kwanje Zambia. Dola na ishupa.
And that's every statement nowadays.
We know. Fintu na fishupa. Yes, things are much harder perhaps today than they were when I was growing up. But we still had the same challenges. I walked the streets to find a job every single day. I would apply for a job until I got it. And I used no connections. I did it on my own.
You know? Wow. Thank you so much, Ms Charity, for coming on the show. For me, I think my takeaway message would be, put God first, have that personal relationship with Him, talk to Him actually, sit Him down and have that conversation. And also set goals, don't just move anyhow. Set goals and know what you want to really achieve. And of course, sometimes it will be hard, but you just need to keep pushing and you need to look up, as she said, don't look down. You need to look up, you need to keep going up. Of course, at times when the trajectory will go down, but you need to keep going up. Thank you so much for joining us
You're
today.
very welcome, Florence.
I'm
Thank
sure
you for
many
having me.
many lives will be touched by your story. And
Thank you so much.
thank you very much. We have come to the end of the show. My name is Florence Jedidiah Mlenga. See you next time.